This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Thank you for downloading the Iainlee podcast. Don't forget you can listen to me live every weekday morning from 6 till 9 on BBC Three Counties Radio. Coming up in the show, a little bit of this.
What's your biggest selling points for us?
Personality.
A fair dash of this. You, my friend, are a bad parent. And just for the hell of it, a load of this.
I used to fall asleep, and then I used to get the police trying to arrest me for drunk disorder when I'm asleep against a tree.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
The show this week might sound a little bit different. I say different, I mean not as good. The reason is producer Tara has gone away on holiday. Shameful. I didn't give permission for this, but it's happened. So, today we're being produced by none other than Catherine Boll from the News.
Hey!
Hey! Do you know what you're doing?
No.
Right, OK, but you're going to...
Do I press that?
Well, don't press anything now. This is on-air banter.
Am I supposed to be typing?
Yeah, do some typing. So what treats have you got in store for us this week, Catherine?
Oh, loads. News. Talking.
No, you can stop the typing.
Okay.
No, that's
Frenetic typing.
OK. Well, I tell you, why don't you tell us what have you sent Justin out on today? Let's talk about that.
We've sent Justin out to find people who are to talk about online dating.
Now, this was his idea, so
It was kind of his idea.
Yeah.
But what we're going to get him to do isn't really.
Right. What have
My
you?
idea was a really good one.
Well, what have you contributed to today's show?
So far, I've made 2 cups of coffee.
And content-wise,
I did write some cues.
okay. You wrote the joke about dipping your ink in your pen in the office ink, didn't you?
Yeah, and the warning that the clip that we were about to play was quite poo-heavy.
When is Tara back?
2 weeks.
OK, well, just to say, you know, that if you go to Heart for a week, I won't hate you. You can come back, all right?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
BBC Three Counties Radio. I am disgusted. There's been a shuffle this week, and in terms of the team, and I'll explain this in a bit. But I'm disgusted by the idiocy displayed to me by a member of my team. Kelly Betts has joined me in the studio. Good morning, Kelly Betts.
Oh, hi.
Now, Kelly Betts is sat here, and apropos of something quite significant, I have said to her, "Oh, CND," and you've said, what does CND mean?
Yes.
You've gone through a variety of various different things it could mean. Many of them quite offensive, I have to say. Quite offensive. And you have no idea why I've said CND to you, do you?
Can't not die.
You can. You are...
Capital... No dog?
You're like one of those people that wears a Ramones T-shirt and doesn't know that the Ramones are a band.
They're a band? Someone could have told me.
You
it was
really...
a soap.
You have no idea, do you?
What, CND?
No.
No.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me?
No, I'm tempted not to. Despite the fact that you are wearing some CND merchandise.
What? No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
She really is. Don't tell her. She really is this stupid.
I still don't know what that is.
You're wearing, bizarrely, on your bracelet, the CND logo. So I assumed that because you're wearing the CND logo on
Isn't
your...
that the peace sign?
Because you're wearing this... No, it's not. Because you're wearing the CND logo, I kind of assumed you were making a political statement by wearing that logo.
I'm wearing the peace sign.
It's not the peace sign.
You know, like John Lennon?
No, that's the peace sign, although that's actually victory.
Yeah,
Two fingers.
So this is the peace sign?
No. 08459 455 555. Could someone call in? You can go now.
I don't want to.
Could someone call in and tell Kelly Betts exactly what the CND logo is and what it means? She's wearing it. She hasn't got a clue.
This is Iainlee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, online Online dating, it used to be the preserve of weirdos, and I'm sure you probably still get a few, but these days you're more likely to get someone who's, well, quite normal, apparently. With so many of us working with unattractive people, where else are you going to meet that special someone? Let's face it, the days when you could go to a nightclub with your mates and fall into a stranger's mouth are long gone.
I found someone and we're living together and 2 years down the line, so I'm all for them.
So you're a success story of dating websites?
Absolutely.
I think they're a good idea for individuals trying to find their perfect partner, so to speak.
Now, you're obviously shopping today with your partner. How did you two meet?
Believe it or not, online dating. Well, I think I registered on a site and... we just got chatting on the internet, but it's the perfect way to meet someone.
Well, the next step is finding the right agency. Tonight's Panorama looks into the multi-million-pound industry and has exposed some pretty shady practices. We all know people don't always use the most accurate selfie. Sometimes they just take a picture of their face, don't they, when they've got quite a big body. And their profile information can lie quite significantly. Well, according to tonight's programme, some agencies create fake profiles in a bid to reel in those looking for love. Who'd have thunk it? We can speak to Justin Dealey. Morning, JD.
Hello, Ian. Fake profiles? Never. Now,
listen, you're a good-looking man.
Thank you, and you?
No, thank you very much indeed. Would you ever use online dating?
Never.
Why?
Never. Because I like to try before I buy. Now, I don't...
I don't know if you can say that, but
no,
yes.
I think you can, because
explain.
I don't even buy clothes online. Because when I walk into a shop, I like to pick up that shirt from the rail. I like to look at it. That, to me,
you like to
has
stroke
got
it, you like to finger that shirt and before you slip into it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly my point. I'll take it to the dressing room. If we get on, I will then take it to the counter and I'll buy it. I can't do that online, so what's going to happen is I'm going to be stuck with somebody who I don't like. I'll be completely honest with you, Ian. On Saturday, a lady asked me out. Now, as a single man, she was an attractive lady, but the personality didn't exactly match, so I didn't go out with that person. Online dating, you're going to get an online personality, and that's completely different to the reality.
But the thing with online dating, it's all algorithms, it's all ticking boxes, so that you should, in theory, meet the perfect person.
In theory, yes, but again, the reality, I think, is completely different. Maybe I should try it, I could be proved wrong, but personally, it's not for me. I like to meet somebody, I like to get to know them, and then I would take them out.
A little light bulb has gone up above all of our heads here.
Yes.
We should totally create a Justin Dealey profile on a dating website, and let's see what hot totty comes your way.
Well, they may look hot online, and you made the point here about selfies. Personally, as you know, Ian, I'm not really a fan of the selfie photograph, so you could be finding somebody face to face who you don't like.
But for that, I'm laughing hysterically because Justin Dealey's phone is full of the selfies. If he wants to take a picture of anything at work, he has to delete some of his selfies to free up some memory.
That's not the truth, and you know it.
You've been talking to people, haven't you, Justin?
I've been trying to find people this morning who have tried online dating. It's been a major struggle. Yes, it's early in the morning, but this has been hard work. Here's what people had to say. So you're not a fan of online dating. Can you tell us why?
I don't know who I am dating. I don't know their background. I don't know their culture. How can I date someone I don't know? I love seeing, someone physically.
When you're pointing at me there, are you saying you'd like to go out with me?
Not really.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you definitely wouldn't give it a try, ever?
No, of course. If I feel like I can do it. It's just that it's not part of me. I try to understand who you are before, getting into, knowing you. I like selecting friends.
Well, listen, for the record, I totally agree with you. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
So you haven't tried online dating. Why?
Too old.
You can be any age for online dating.
I know, but not for me.
Well, everyone seems to be very much against the idea. Madam, you wouldn't try online dating. I need to ask the question, why wouldn't you try it?
I think it's risky because anyone can type anything online and it's been something completely different.
But then again, you could find your absolute soulmate online.
I know people have, but I suppose it's a risk that you have to take.
Would you know any of your friends that have tried online dating?
I have one, and they have gotten married to that person.
Really?
Yeah.
So it can work then?
It does work for those who are lucky.
So even despite your friend who has found love and married somebody online, it still wouldn't be for you?
No, not for me.
Morning, Jason. How are you today, sir?
Fine.
Have you ever tried online dating?
No.
Can you tell me why?
I ain't got a laptop.
When are you going to get a laptop?
Friday.
So come Friday, will you be online dating?
Yeah.
Sell yourself. What's your biggest selling points for us?
Personality.
Well, listen, best of luck on Friday. How about we catch up next weekend? You might have your first date, mightn't you?
I might, yeah.
Best of luck.
And you.
Well, he might be doing all right there, Justin, that fella.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting his laptop, and just for the record, he's about 5'9", wears baggy bottoms, and is a fan of the baseball cap. So, ladies, join the queue.
On FM, AM, online and digital radio.
This is Iainlee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
About 2 hours ago, a member of my team, Kelly Betts, wandered into my studio, a little bit worse for wear, has done absolutely nothing this morning apart from texting her mates and updating her Facebook status. It's complicated. But she's wearing a bangle that has a logo on it. It's a circle and it's kind of an inverted Y with a line coming out of it. And you didn't know what that stood for, did you?
Hiya.
And I have told you it stands for the organisation CND, which we all know stands for the Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament.
It's just the peace sign, get over it.
And she just sat there and said, seriously, Iain, why does this stand for CDM? I don't know what why is it CDM?
Seriously though, why is it CDM?
It's CND, it's their logo. It's a logo.
It's the peace sign. Everybody knows that, apart from you and CDM.
You are so... young people, this is the problem, dear listener, with Broken Britain. I'm looking at Broken Britain now. That's what I'm looking at.
Thanks.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, on Wednesday, I saw a story in the paper which really annoyed me. 1 in 4 youngsters do not sit down and talk every day over a meal. I was outraged. I'm pretending to be outraged now, but this is what I sound like when I'm really outraged. The more I think about this, the angrier I'm getting. Surely it's obvious that you want to talk to your kids at mealtime. The fact that it's being flagged up means that some people don't, which means those people are bad parents, which means those people should not have children. Shouldn't be allowed to have them. These are also the same kids, your kids, are the irritating ones that run around in Giraffe or run around in the Maison Blanc or anywhere because they don't know how to behave. If they haven't got a screen in front of them, they don't know how to behave. Oh, it's OK, they're just 5 years old. No, make them sit down and eat their meal. That's what you need to do. And if they don't sit down and eat their meal, you as a family pay the bill, you get up and you go out. And you don't come back until you've taught them how to behave in a restaurant. The boys are just running around. Where are they? They're over there. We'll go and get them because they're running around near me. Hate it. I hate it. If you do not, and I say this and I mean this, if you do not sit down, can we get like an expert on this? I'm trying to think. You're not, Catherine Bell, you're not an expert.
I am.
You're just a lady.
This.
You're an expert at this. Do your kids run around in restaurants?
No, they don't, because they sit at the table at home. And when we're in restaurants, people remark on how good they are.
But that's quite easy. It takes a bit of work, but that's quite easy to do. You just educate them.
Yeah, you sit there and we'll have a chat. It's quite nice to go out to a restaurant.
You sit at home with them. Do they watch TV?
No, we have the telly off. They have the wireless on.
Oh, do they look at phones while they're having their supper?
No, and nor does my husband.
Do they?
Although he tries.
Fly in front of me. Go away, fly. Do they have TVs in their bedrooms?
No, we've only got one telly.
You see, this is wonderful news to my ears.
Do you know what we do?
Yeah.
We read books.
Oh, God, no. What?
I'm not one of those weird no-telly families, but we do read books.
We read books. My little boy would rather... Quite often he says, can we turn the TV off, Daddy, so you can read me a book? Yeah, fine. I'll have some of that. 08459 455 555. If you let your kids watch TV whilst they're eating, if you don't sit down and talk to them while they're eating every single meal... If you let them run around in restaurants, you, my friend, are a bad parent. Liz Fraser is the author of the Yummy Mummies Survival Guide. Are you as angry as I am, Liz?
Do you know what? As I'm listening to you, I'm becoming more and more wound up about this one. It's fabulous. Honestly, though, what is wrong with people who have children and don't speak to them? And, as somebody just pointed out to me on Twitter, actually, because I've been tweeting about this, listening to children.
Listening,
hello?
Yep.
Why don't people listen to children? Do you know, I always used to do that when my children were smaller than me in height. When you talk to them, bend down a little bit,
Yep.
put your eyes on their level, look at them and talk to them.
Yep.
I mean, this survey is just shocking, and all this. I did love that, though. Yes. Well, there's no point. There's no point talking to them at meal times because they're eating, so they can't.
Oh, there's so many clever dicks have put.
Did you come from, you know?
Liz, if you could just move ever so slightly because you're breaking up, and I do want to chat to you. But it is that so many people have done that line. Oh well, you can't talk. Their mouth is full. Well, what happened? What, a restaurant silent? Well, we go for meals. Meals are to enjoy the food and to enjoy the company and the conversation. And you're right. By sitting with kids and talking to them, they learn how to listen, they learn how to respond, they learn how to carry on the conversation and ask questions after a statement.
Yeah.
They learn that what they have done that day is valid and important. Oh, I'm angry, Liz.
It just points to a complete disregard for children in this country. We have so many people just treat children like just sort of dirt. There's some sort of vermin that's got in the way. That exactly, just shut up, be quiet, sit down. And the thing about confidence, I thought, was really interesting in the survey, that said that children who are not spoken to at home and at dinner time, at meal times, are much less confident in the class, confident to raise their hand and make a point, have a point of view. And that's what you're learning when you have a conversation with children. To teach them to feel strong enough to have a point of view, to make their point, to be listened to and to be disagreed with, that's okay. But, oh gosh, the damage that is being done. And the dummies, you know, you see people with 5-year-old children just shoving dummies in their mouth. It's all to do with that. Be quiet, go away, you have no place.
The new thing, and I was surprised, my brother-in-law does this, I can say this as he's now safely left the country. He's a very intelligent gentleman, but he has 2 daughters, what are they, 4 and 1, something like that, 4 and 2. And at meal times, they shove an iPad in front of them showing the Hoobs or something like that. Well, that's no good.
It is no good. And in fact, we know, to bring this actually to a slightly different angle, which is obesity and health and food, we know that if you're busy doing something else, if you're distracted by something else while you're eating, you don't concentrate on the food, you don't concentrate on what you're eating, and you eat much, much more. So that's another whole factor in this. You know, rather than sitting down, chewing your food properly, having a break between mouthfuls, in which point, you know, you could actually have a conversation. We're just shoving food down their mouths. Yeah, watch telly while you're eating. At which point you're not concentrating on anything properly. It breaks my heart. It really is heartbreaking to me. How many children are being raised this way?
Well, and there are parents saying, "Well, we haven't got time to sit." You've got 20 minutes.
Oh, come
20 minutes to sit down. Even if you're not eating, sit down with them and watch them eat. Is that nice food? What did you do today? What do you want to do tomorrow? That's all it takes. Why have you got kids otherwise?
Exactly, and actually I often don't feel that I have time to sit with them, so in those circumstances I'll be in the kitchen or whatever, unloading the dishwasher or making tomorrow's packed lunch, but at least talking to them. It's just no excuse, and sometimes I think we ought to have a licence to have children, you know? I mean, sometimes I think you ought to be able to pass a basic humanity test.
Do you know what? We're beginning to sound a little bit fascist, but I agree with you. You have to have a licence to... No, I have to agree with you. You have to have a licence to drive a car. You know, you should have a licence to have kids.
If you're so stupid that you can't figure out that sitting down and listening and talking to a child is really important to their health, their mental and well-being, then frankly, you shouldn't have one, right?
Exactly.
With a slightly fascist hat on, yes.
Liz, listen, it's lovely to talk to you. The line's going again, so I shall let you go, but thank you. Liz Fraser, author of the Yummy Mummy Survival Guide. What do you think? You've got 15 minutes to call in. We heard one mum there speaking to Justin, who thinks it's perfectly acceptable to plonk the 2-year-old in front of the CBeebies while the 2-year-old eats, because they can't talk while they're eating. Their mouth is full. Wow. Things like that, and it's not just that woman, I'm not singling her out. We've had lots of comments like that on Facebook. Things like that break my heart. I was going to say maybe once in a while as a treat. I don't even know if I'd do it as a treat. Well, maybe once in a blue moon, but I'm not sure I'd even do that. If you plonk your kids in front of the TV, or in front of a DVD, or in front of your tablet, and you don't talk to them while they're eating, you are a bad parent. It's as simple as that. You are missing out on the joys of learning about your child, and also the joy of educating your child.
This is Iainlee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I've got some bad news. one of the show's regular contributors, Justin Dealey, has smacked himself in the nut with a postbox. Is that right, Justin?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
But
yes.
You're soldiering on. Despite everything, you were a little groggy and pale and you being pale means there's something seriously bad with you. You were very groggy this morning when you came in,
and I was dizzy. My head was spinning. Yeah.
Oh, that was embarrassing, wasn't it?
It was a bit, yeah, sorry.
So, tell us what happened.
Yeah, OK, so last night I was in my flat, and I was downstairs on the ground floor. Morning to you, lads. So, I was downstairs on the ground floor, and... Right, Dealey! You've done your nutting, Dealey! Why do people do that? We see a microphone, way. So, there I am. I was on the ground floor of my flat, and I was by the post box, which sticks out from the wall. It is quite literally a box in the wall. For the people who are in that flat, you've all got an individual box. So I dropped something on the floor, I came back up at speed, and I smacked my head right on the corner of the post box, and I split my head open. Sorry if you're having breakfast, guys, but this is real life.
And it's literally... It's literally not that much of an exaggeration to say he split his head open.
No. It was bleeding for quite some time. I thought I was going to have stitching. Yeah. I was terrified. I thought they're going to have to cut some of my hair out to stitch me. I was in a right panic for about half an hour. I put some salt on there. The bleeding then stopped, but it's painful. But I can't blow dry my hair at the moment because it's going to be too painful for me.
Stop. Collaborate and listen. Alice is back with a brand new invention. Something has got a hold of me tightly. Movement, something daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? No, I don't know the rest of the words. Did you just say you put salt? On your wound?
Yes. Absolutely.
Why on earth would anybody put salt on a head wound? That makes no sense at all.
Hey, listen, your phone lines will light up right now because that's what you're meant to do. It's an old wives' tale, isn't it? If you get a wound, you put salt in it, and it makes it a lot better.
I have never... Right, OK, I need help on this. 08459 455 555. Is this true? I have never heard that at all. So you woke up, because you did pass out. You woke up, realised you were in trouble, and you ran to the kitchen to find condiments?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a man here. Sir, can I ask you one quick question? If you have a cut, an open wound, have you ever heard about putting salt on it?
Yes.
You have, and apparently it works.
It's a good cleaning agent.
Thank you very much. There you go. There you go. Job done. He's now running for his bus. He's now late for his bus.
You've made him late. I think we're getting some phone calls on this. 08459 455 555. I've never heard this. Would you put vinegar on there?
I wouldn't put vinegar because that would sting.
Yeah, pepper?
No, salt because I do like salt anyway.
Soy sauce?
I lick my fingers afterwards. No, not soy sauce.
Sweet chilli sauce? No. You do like salt. You have way too much salt.
Lick my fingers afterwards. Lovely.
OK, so you put salt on your head, which I find absolutely... just stay there a second. April's in Luton. Good morning, April.
Good morning.
Have you ever heard of such a nonsense? Putting salt on a wound?
No, I haven't, but I am slightly concerned that he hasn't been to the hospital, has himself checked out for concussion.
That is very true, because he's rambling more than usual, isn't he?
Well, he is, and I'd never normally have a concern about Justin Dealey's welfare. But on this occasion, I would suggest that he did, especially if he was feeling dizzy or if he was physically sick.
He passed out, April.
No, in that case, he needs to go, because I know people... this is not a joke, I know people who have hit their head and then 3 days later died.
Whoa, this weekend was actually going to be a big programme as well. We've got some big guests on the show this Saturday, so
I think you need to go and have yourself checked out.
Who's on this Saturday, Justin?
We've got Andy from Free, and he tells us all the story about how he wrote All Right Now, which, by the sounds of things, I won't be all right now by Saturday.
We should probably get in touch with him just to, let him know it may not be happening. She makes a serious... April, you know people who died 3 days after bumping their head. That's incredible.
They fell off something and hit their head on the concrete and then died 3 days later.
Justin, listen...
Can we stop this conversation now?
No, this is very, very serious. You passed out, Justin.
If you passed out or if you were sick, you need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Ended up outside door number 11. Where am I? I don't live at door number 11.
And then you started pouring salt onto your wound. That's insane.
Look, I'll tell you what. Stay there for a second. Yep. Madam, good morning. Have you ever heard about putting salt onto a wound? Let me just pour this out. Pour this out for a second, OK. Have you ever heard about putting salt water onto a wound? Would that help?
Yes.
So you've heard of it as well?
Yes.
Thank you. Ian, where have you been all your life?
You just changed that to salt water because you know you were pouring that stuff, that bad stuff onto your head directly, and then no salt water was involved, Dealey. April, I appreciate your concern.
Thank you.
And I understand what you say about not normally being that concerned about Dealey, but, you know, sometimes we have to look after the ones that are less fortunate than ourselves, don't we?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
April, thank you very much indeed. Dealey, listen. I am free Saturday morning, so maybe I should just be on standby, just in case.
Yeah, OK. You put yourself on standby. Yeah, great concern for your colleague. Oh. And I shall carry on asking parents about watching TV for you.
I could do with the extra 45 quid that you get, so...
50, actually.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Network Rail are launching a campaign to try and get people to be less drunk on trains. Well, lots of you got in touch with your views on this. Here's my favourite caller. Drunk people on trains. Steve's in Luton. Hello, Steve.
Hello, morning.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning. Just have a train for, a carriage for people that have been drinking. Segregate them from the general public so people can feel safe then, can't they?
I don't think I've ever agreed with you before in my life, Steve, but you make a pretty good point there. The thing is, it'll be like a party carriage.
Yeah, exactly. And the other things I don't like is when you call, there's decent people out there drink. People get loud, decent people. And when you say drunken, it sounds like you're calling us like scumbags because you get drunk and you start, swearing a bit here and there with a few beers. Most of us ain't like that, are we? Know what I mean? When you say drunken, it's like a down and out.
Well, Steve, how drunk do you get?
Not anymore. I used to fall asleep, and then I used to get the police trying to arrest me for drunk disorder when I'm asleep against a tree.
So that is Steve. That is down and out. You've just described down and out.
It's not down and out.
A drunk man being
what's wrong with that?
A drunk man falling asleep against a tree, being arrested by the police. That's the definition.
Hold on. They tried to arrest me, and I argued the case.
You beat them up. You beat them up. Ran away.
They've got better things. I've got better things to pay for my council tax than them trying to arrest me for being asleep against a tree. I'm quite happy. They disturb me sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not me, you can't do nothing in this country.
They were disturbing your peace.
Yeah, they were disturbing my peace. I should have arrested them. Citizens arrest them, the police, because they're freaking useless.
Steve, thank you very much indeed. Oh, dear. I never agree with what Steve says, but ignoring his last point, going back to the drunken carriage, that's not a bad idea. Get a bit of music playing, get the lights down low. What is it? Don't come knocking if this caravan's a rocking. Is that a phrase? What does that? Oh, I just realised what that means. Well, the same for the train. Just have a drunk carriage. Maybe having a little bar in there, a disco ball. That would work, wouldn't it?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
JVS is very... I feel like I've admitted failure, admitting I'm getting old and past it. He has increased the font size of the screen that I use to read the headlines from.
Welcome to the world of 14.
Is yours that big?
Yeah, I've been on 14 for a long time.
Really?
I can't read it. You had it on, I think, 11 before.
Yes.
I mean, only children can read 11.
I might go back down to 9. I won't. I've got excellent vision, but it is getting a little bit frosty as I gather years under my belt.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. You look absolutely wonderful. You are very buff.
Don't start again.
No, I'm not. Honestly, it always surprises me because I bet as a lad you were like me, and I'm a little bit nerdy, a bit geeky, a bit lonely. Cry a little bit.
No.
Let me carry on. You were a little bit thin, a bit sickly. You'd cry yourself to sleep at night, wondering when things would turn out your way and why your family didn't want to talk to you and stuff like that. And you're a little bit weedy, but you've really done well for yourself.
Thanks very much.
You're buff. You're buff.
You reckon?
Do you go to the gym? Do you pull off in there?
I've not been to the gym for the whole of 2013.
That's so naughty.
I paid for the gym for the whole of 2013. What a waste.
I've done that.
The thing is, I know I'm going to go, so I can't cancel it.
Yeah.
Because I am going to go, but I just want to wait till I get a bit more fat first. Do you know what I mean?
There's no fat on you at all, man.
Well, I've noticed some of my trousers, they're very tight now around my buttocks.
Fashionable to have tight buttocks.
But I like to wait until I get to a stage where I can't actually do the top button up, and then I say, I'm going to go back to the gym.
That's your... Do you weigh yourself?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't weighed myself since I was 15.
Yeah, but you don't need to, do you? There's nothing of you.
I know. People say, well, how do you know how much you weigh? Well, I don't. But I know if I need to do a bit of exercise or eat a bit less because I get a little paunch. And if I get that paunch, then I know that it's time to just hold back on the food for a little bit, maybe a couple of days, go for a little jog or a swim, and then...
You starve yourself. That's a very healthy way of losing weight.
On FM, AM, online and digital radio.
This is Iainlee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
I keep going back to this thing in the Express. Page 14. It's not clever or funny to use foul language on TV, says Jan Etherington, comedy writer. No, me neither. I disagree with Ms Etherington. I think OK, when I was 10... 11, I watched a film starring Gene Wilder and who's the gentleman who burnt himself while smoking crack? Richard Pryor, called Stir Crazy, OK? There is a scene in that, I remember it so well, there is a scene in that where they get sentenced to about 300 years each for a crime they didn't commit. It's the funniest scene because Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor spend 5 minutes going, oh, swearing, using the S word. And it is the funniest... It's not clever. It's not particularly clever. It's not big. It's very, very funny. A well-timed F-bomb or an S-bomb can be hilarious. Of course, at other times it's completely inappropriate. I would hate it if Alex Winters or Katie from CBeebies suddenly dropped one as they were about to introduce Mr. Tumble. Or indeed, if Mr. Tumble fell over and let out a loud F-bomb. I would hate it. But, well, actually, no, it would be inappropriate. But there are times when, of course, it's appropriate. Put EastEnders on after 10 o'clock, have them effing and jeffing in the Queen Vic. Because when have you ever been in a pub in the East End of London where you've not heard loud, sweary, slightly racist voices? It's real life. This call to have less swearing on television, you are so wrong, Jan Etherington, and anybody who agrees with her is a fool. We should have more swearing on the television. 08459 455 555. I know you want to agree with me, so call up, give me a pat on the back for getting it right, but don't swear. Yes, now is one of those times it would be inappropriate, all right, Mr. Tumble?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
I was lucky enough to interview new Chief Constable for Bedfordshire, Colette Paul. Nicholas called in to give his view on what happened. I think it was a little bit difficult to follow Nicholas's point. Have a listen. Nicholas is in Buckingham. Nicholas, what did you think of Colette Paul?
Yes, well, I thought it was a very good interview, and obviously with a press officer there as well, just in case there was questions. But you see, my question is, we need a police force, Ian. We do not need a police service, which is now what we have got.
Yes.
There we go. Now, if this was you or I, let's go and attend Uncle Norman's wedding, shall we? Oh, yeah, we'll stick a caravan on somebody's bit of land, defecate, break the law, etc., etc. Now, you or I, you wouldn't even get out your caravan as a member, i.e. a member of the public, but, let's go under this traveller thing, and they know full well what they can get away with. And how long were they there a fortnight before the police acted on it and moved them off? You think of your members of your public, and then you put the people that know what they can do with the law, because I'm afraid, Ian, at times the law is an absolute ass.
I'm still shocked at the revelation that Uncle Norman's getting married. He never told me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, good on him, the silly old sausage. But the thing is, Nicholas, the thing about the travellers, as Colette pointed out, they weren't breaking any laws.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that the police can only intervene if they're breaking the law.
It's very difficult, isn't it? Yeah, I must admit they are in one of those catch-22 situations, but like the chap said who had his car, and his aerial broken off and spray-painted, that they haven't now got the resources, have they, to deal with that sort of thing? Because years ago, obviously back in the day, the Bobby would have been on the beat and he would have been out there to put that right.
Bobby's on the beat, though, Nicholas, and this often gets raised. Does it really stop crime? I don't know if it does.
No, I don't think they do, but what they are they're a very good deterrent, aren't they? The officer in the uniform does still carry a bit of weight. I know he can't do a lot nowadays because he's got 4 utilities from Batman on their on their clothing with all the batons and everything else they carry. I don't think they're permitted to run after criminals now, are they? In the days...
I think well, several things are popping up here. First of all, deterrent does mean stop crime. And secondly, I think they are allowed to run after criminals, yes?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But yes. I think it's only certain length, isn't it, now? Because I know where that lady fell over, didn't she? She fell over round the back of... It was a petrol station, wasn't it? And the chap didn't go round there because it was slippery, wasn't it? There's so much where there's blame, there's a claim now. There's so much that they can't do that they used to be able to do at times. And they are in a catch-22 situation, yeah.
I do think they're allowed to chase criminals. I would be surprised if they weren't allowed. But yes, I like your description of that. It is like they're wearing the Bat utility belt, isn't it?
Most certainly is, yeah.
We need a Batman, don't we?
We certainly do, Ian.
Would you be up for it, Nicholas? If I could get you a rubber suit and a mask and, just a few weapons, low-level things, nothing too dangerous, would you be up for it, Nicholas? We need someone like you.
I most definitely would. Well, we certainly... He's web, you see. I do come across the odd bat, in that sort of situation, yeah.
Sorry?
But I think as long as she can do exactly what she says, exactly what it says on the tin, Ian, it will be a good thing, yes.
What does it say, Nicholas?
Look on the situation.
Nicholas, what does it say on the tin? You've got the tin in your hand. Look at it. Read it to me.
That's it. It says, I will do exactly as it says on the tin, and I will put my all my resources to the best use possible. So I think that's very good.
It says that on the tin, that it will do what it says on the tin?
Tin, yes.
We've opened Pandora's box. Nicholas, lovely to talk to you.
Very good if we have, Ian, yeah. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. No, Nicholas, Pandora's box is a bad thing. We don't want to open that. What's in Pandora's box? It's full of shame and guilt, isn't it? And hatred, I think. And then there's one little fairy that flies out. You go, who's that? I'm Hope. Well, there's only one of you. There's millions of the others. We're screwed.
This is Iainlee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
In one of the proper newspapers that doesn't peddle in filth, the Telegraph, well, it does a bit, there's loads of women topless in parks in London, because it was a bit hot yesterday, and we as a nation don't know how to handle it. These women stripped off. Now, when we say stripped off, she looks like Mel C. When we say stripped off, they're lying on their front with their bra straps undone, a little bit of side boobage going on. A couple of them wearing very small pants as well. I don't think that's appropriate in Hyde Park at St Paul. Outside St Paul's Cathedral, it's a house of God. God doesn't want to see side boobs. He can see them any time he wants. He's omnipresent and omnipotent. I don't know if it's been happening in the Three Counties. It probably has. Topless in town. Is it ever acceptable, men and women? No, I'll tell you what, it's not. These deviants should be locked up and thrown in prison and put on the sex offenders register, as far as I'm concerned. Seriously, I think it's awful. I don't want to see semi-nude people wandering about through town. You go into Lidl, and there are topless fat men in there wandering around with their massive knockers wobbling about. You go into a park and there's a woman topless. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I think it's inappropriate. Topless people wandering around towns. You are disgusting. You are deviant. You are perverted. Stop it. You are affecting the minds of not only our youth but our adults. Our old people who fought in the war didn't go and fight old Jerry so that you'd have the rights to walk around Luton without your top on. It's awful. I don't want to see that. It makes me physically ill. Peter's in Lambeth. Peter, you agree with me, don't you?
No, not at all.
Oh, go on.
No, I haven't got a problem with walking around with no shirt on in a town centre or anywhere else.
Disgusting. You're one of them that does it, are you?
Yep, I've done it very often over the years. I'm getting on a bit now, but...
Would you do it now, as an old man?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll still do it.
What's your body like?
Well, getting on a bit now. I've got a little bit of extra padding around the waist.
So what are you in your 60s?
No, I'm just coming up for that. I'm 58.
Okay, so you're an old, flabby, grey, droopy old man wandering around town topless. What on earth makes you think that's acceptable?
Well, why not?
Because it's horrible. I don't want to see it. You're invading my eyes and my brain space.
Don't look then.
No, but don't look. Of course I've got to look, Peter. If I see that wobbling towards me, what am I going to do?
No, just turn your eyes away. Forget about it. It's quite simple, you know. I mean, I agree with what the person was saying earlier about women topless in parks and that when there's kids about.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
No.
I find it acceptable on a beach, but
what about the poor children who are going to be scarred by seeing you, Peter?
And they want to be scarred by seeing me.
The thing
I don't agree with that way of thinking, you know. I mean, everyone's got the right to do what they want to do.
Well, they haven't. They haven't got the right to do what they want to do. There are laws and rules in place, and admittedly, it's not illegal to walk around topless, but morally, it's inappropriate. The thing is, Peter, you don't have to look at you, so you're not suffering. It's everybody in your immediate vicinity that's suffering.
I'll have to look at me every morning when I have a shower.
Yeah, but not when you're topless walking through the high street, you don't.
No, but then there's people that have got worse body shapes than me that are old. I mean, it's accepted all across the continent, all across Europe. Old people, a lot older than I am, walking about topless.
In beaches, you wouldn't get topless people walking around in Greece, for example.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been to Greece.
Oh, I've been to Greece. Not in
Spain, they do.
Not in the towns, they don't. By the beaches, they do, but not in the towns. The Spanish people won't.
Well, going to the beach and from the beach, they do. I've seen it myself. I've been there.
Well, yes, the beach. That's the key word, Peter. How close are you to the nearest beach?
Nearest one to me is about 50 miles away.
So you're nowhere near the beach. You're not going. If you're near the beach, if you're at those shops that sell the lilos and the buckets and the fishing nets, then yes. But you're 50 miles away from a beach, Peter. Have some respect.
Oh, as I say, everyone's entitled to do as they see fit to do. You know, I mean, I'm comfortable walking around with no shirt on. If other people are offended by it, then as I say, all they've got to do is turn their eyes away.
Suppose they walked around with no pants on.
That's totally different.
But you know, Peter, as you just said, everybody's got the right to do what they want to do. I want to walk around with no pants on. I'm comfortable with it.
Well, if you feel that way, then feel free to do so, but that is against the law.
OK. Peter, thank you very much indeed. Oh, dearie me. Broken Britain, there you go. Does anybody agree with Peter? Do you think, were you listening to that thinking I was a little bit harsh? Anybody agree with Peter there? I think it's disgusting.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iainlee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The Independent, your hell is just beginning. Ariel Castro hears from his victims. This is one of the gentlemen that locked those three women in the basement of his house. And boy, as the details come out, doesn't that story sound even more horrific than it did? They were locked in his house for 11 years. He'd make them wear a motorcycle helmet before he raped them. He's been sentenced to life prison. And 1,000 years. Life imprisonment and 1,000 years. Yeah, we're going to sentence you to life imprisonment. Oh, no. And 1,000 years. Oh, man! That is the scene from Stir Crazy. Oh. The new stop and search spot checks at stations in hunt for illegal immigrants. Home Office officials have conducted a series of racist and intimidatory spot checks to search for illegal immigrants in the wake of the government's Go Home or Face Arrest campaign. Also, there's a load of new peers, have been announced, including the bloke from Ministry of Sound, the dance club awful music compilation man. Really? Blimey! What has he done? The Guardian, inside GCHQ. How the US pays Britain's spy agency £100 million for a very special relationship. Oh dear. The Times, is that Anna Friel? Well. She's got a silly fascinator on her head. Banks take 18 billion... Oh, boring. Let's have a look at the Mail, shall we? The Mail, the paragon of all that is right and virtuous in our publishing, never has anything inappropriate or vaguely sexual. Turn to page 3, I can see a bit of a woman's backside! The Mail is one of these papers that hates filth, it hates pornography, it hates sexism within the BBC, it hates the BBC, but... Page 3, I can see the top of a woman's backside! One of the most... If you want to see some mucky stuff, OK, but you want to dress it up as being legitimate research, go to the Daily Mail website. It is filth. Seriously. The front page of the Mail is a picture of that lady who probably isn't... I'm going to say it now. Is not pregnant by Simon Cowell. Oh, he's got a new series of X Factor starting soon and he's got a lady pregnant. He hasn't. Murdering stepfather was jailed in Britain 3 times. The Express, there's Simon Cowell baby shock. Mystery star stays silent over claims he's to be a dad because he's not a dad because he's got a new TV series starting soon. He's not got her pregnant. I will bet you now, Catherine Boyle, I bet you now he has not got her pregnant.
I'm not joining in the bet.
Why?
I believe that you're right.
Oh, but so do you want to bet a fiver?
So we'll both bet someone else.
Bet me?
No. Because I could lose and I don't believe it.
Well, you believe it.
All right.
£5?
OK.
Sweet. House prices to rise by £33,000. Oh, and The Sun. New baby bombshell, Simon Cruel. That doesn't work. His name's Simon Cowell. Simon Cruel. Am I missing something? Simon Gruel? Simon Fuel? What is that? Simon Cruel. His name is Cowell. Simon Crowell. Simon Callis. If it was Simon Callow, it could be Simon Callis.
Simon Growl.
Simon Growler. Oh, no, hang on. Simon Cowell has been named in divorce papers after getting a pal's wife pregnant. He's not got her pregnant, and Catherine Boyle is going to give me £5 this afternoon.
Even though I don't think he's got her pregnant.
Exactly, thank you.
How did that happen?
Why are you talking?
You shut my mic then.
This is Iainlee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Calm down, you lot, for goodness sake. Don't start. Steady on. Listen, Irene, you're here.
Yes.
You were the very excitable young lady.
Yes.
Sorry. You were the very excitable lady who phoned in to... She didn't notice it, so don't...
What?
It's gone over her head.
She didn't notice it, so don't bring it to her attention.
Yeah.
She can find out when she's not in the same studio as me. You went round Luton with Justin Dealey singing the praises of the new baby Prince George.
Yeah, our godson.
Yes, and well done you, and you did it, and it was lovely to hear people celebrating and bringing a bit of joy to Luton when there's so much misery and nasty things going on. What? What are you saying?
Nothing.
Wondering if the mic's on.
Yeah, we did.
You can't see no cameras.
And I can't hear myself. Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah. I've not got you in because I wanted to have a chat while we did the news.
I was going to wonder where the cup of tea was.
Cheeky. There is no tea here. But we're on the radio. There are no cameras because it's radio. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
You've done yourself up special and everything.
Yeah.
Well, not you, but the rest of the girls.
Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. Second insult. Yeah.
Now, Irene, you came in and first thing you said was, I want to word with you.
Yes.
You were a little bit confrontational. What's the problem between you? There's a tension between us, partly sexual, but there's also something else.
Yes.
What's the problem?
You telling me I don't know the words to songs.
Okay.
You know, I'm having problem with words to songs, but I'm only singing it the way I hear it.
So you're singing... You were singing Royal Britannia... Britannia rules the ways.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Do you know that's wrong on 2 levels?
Yes. But now I know that now, but when I heard it was rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves.
It is waves.
Because
it is waves.
Oh, it is waves.
Waves.
Oh, waves. Okay. Rule the way.
No.
Waves.
Oh, poor thing.
I know.
She's getting on in age.
Thank you.
You're going to walk out in it. Don't. We love you. We love you. You're a good sport. We love you. Now, listen. Your voice was excellent. Do you do much singing professionally? Do you go and do it professionally?
Only when I'm hoovering the house I sing.
You should go and do it on stage and stuff.
Oh, come on. Do you want them to boo me off?
You've got a cracking voice.
Cracking is right.
Oh, no. that wasn't me.
I'll have to load about.
So, listen, you've got... These are your sisters. So who are you all?
We're Voices with Soul.
Right, OK. And you've been on the X Factor. You're, like, proper famous.
Well, yeah.
Why is...
And Big Brother.
Why is... A Big Brother. Ooh, why is Irene not part of Voices with Soul?
She's the cook.
Come here.
I have to bring you some dinner.
Come here. Come and give me
one day.
Listen, you're getting a tough time. I love you. Come here, darling. Oh.
She's better off in the kitchen. Oh, you should see what's going on in this studio.
Love the aftershave.
Oh, at least he's got it on.
Do you want a cup of tea?
No.
We had one.
No. Do you want a cup of tea, Irene?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Bring in a cup of tea for Irene, please. We're not doing anything till we get a cup of tea.
Yeah, no sugar, no milk. Oh, look at this.
Look at this.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Thank you. All right.
Is that not all right? What's wrong?
No, milk.
Another cup of tea without milk for Irene, please.
That's like how I sing the song.
Yeah, another cup of tea. Another cup of tea. We'll get you one, don't worry. I mean, she's not got more important things to do. Flippin' heck. Right, now, are you going to sing a song for us?
What do you want us to sing, Iain?
Oh, Iain, you know you were talking about the vest and the men go naked and all that.
Topless, yes.
Topless.
Topless men.
I mean, sorry.
Come on.
Yeah, topless. I think they, because some men walk topless and with their T-shirts in their hand like handbags.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think they should wear vests. You know them lovely colour vests that they got.
You don't get vests anymore, do you?
Yeah, man.
Yes, you do in the market, pearly market.
Get them crochet vests and all that.
You don't want a string vest?
Yes!
No, you don't want a... You don't...
Yeah, that's nice.
String vest and a handkerchief with knots. And sandals with socks.
That's what's missing. The knotted handkerchief hat. That's what we need to bring back.
Yeah.
That was big in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Sometimes,
Will you please sing us a flipping song?
Oh, okay.
What song, Iain?
I don't know what you know.
We Are Family?
We know songs. She doesn't.
Irene, what song would you like to sing?
We Are Family.
Okay, but let's have that.
I won't start it off because...
Okay, now listen, what we're going to... ladies, I'm going to need you to move around here a little bit if you're going to join in, because that microphone is not particularly working. I might need you to... I suspect you've got quite loud voices, haven't you?
Yeah, very loud.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do to make this half decent. But ladies, away you go.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
Oh, fantastic! That was brilliant!
Oh,
I love it!
Yeah. I didn't know a word to it.
It's true. She didn't know a word to it.
I was miming.
Oh, I love it. Can you? We got 2 minutes. Can you squeeze another 2-minute song in?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for us now?
Do you want us bridge?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's have that. Away you go.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all.
Listen, Irene, I'm off for 2 weeks soon. Do you want to do my job for a couple of weeks?
I don't mind. I don't mind coming with you.
I'm going with my wife. It might
that's
be
all right. You have to tell her everything. Anyway.
Voices with Soul. It's so nice to see you. Thank you so much, Irene. It's so lovely to meet you.
And thank you, Luton. I love you, Luton.
And we love you. You're such a good sport. It's lovely to see you, my dear. Right, let's get... Oh, what did you want to say?
I wanted to say hello to Mrs. Vaughan. Love you, Mrs. Vaughan.
And
Mummy.
Oh, for goodness.
And everybody. And Deirdre.
No. Shut up.
This is Iainlee
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
That was the Iainlee podcast. Thank you so much for downloading it. If you want to get in touch, you can send me an email, ian.lee@bbc.co.uk, IAIN.LEE. You can listen to the show every weekday morning, either on the radio or on a computer, or probably on your mobile phone these days, I don't know. If you missed any of the shows and want to dive into the full episodes, then go to BBC iPlayer and have a look for me. That's it, that's your lot, go away.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.